So in this video, I want to talk about Parallel World Pharmacy, as honestly, I just was looking for something to watch, and I was like, okay, let's find something that I can watch while I'm having dinner. And then I kind of started watching this, because I had to catch up on some of my old animes that each season that I missed, and this was one that just kind of caught my eye. I was like, oh, you know what, I'll give it a crack. I see all these kind of pharmacy isekais, and I just thought, you know what, I'll give another one of these a try. And I didn't expect much from it, but I actually really did enjoy the premise of the story. One thing I was surprised about is that there really isn't any push for romance, even though I could see there definitely being a possibility of a romance where the main protagonist could get Riv either the teacher that he's Riv, or his magic teacher, or he could get with the maid. Like, there's that possibilities of either of those, or both of those. But that isn't a focus. The romance is just, it's just not there. Like, I thought it would be, but it wasn't. And it was more focused on exactly what it is, a pharmacy, but also the main protagonist having a deep drive. One of the things that surprised me was the fact that he has his past life, but instead of just ignoring it, it's a driving force of why he wants to do what he wants to do. It's one of the things that allows him to have the knowledge and the ability to do what he can do. But because of his past family, his past life, it is a massive, massive, massive driving force. It is I would say, the pillar of his driving force. So I was really happy with that, because I get so sick to death of isekais that have a main protagonist that's like, oh yeah, I died at an office job, which it does do. He does end up dying while he's asleep, being overworked. But then you see nothing of his past life after that. It's more of a way of calling it an isekai when it isn't an isekai. But with this, even though it does have that kind of cliche ending, it at least draws back to his past memories as a reason of his motivations and why he's making the decisions that he's making, what makes him tick. And then, of course, all the different characters that he's meeting, all the different things that he's trying to accomplish, the pharmacy that he's trying to run. The story ends on a nice, clean note as well. Like, it doesn't feel like it's untidy, messy, or anything like that. It has a very clean ending of where the story ends, but there's clearly more to come, which is why I could definitely love the idea of a second season. Like, I could really get behind a second season, but I don't ever see that being the case. I see this as purely a source material seller, which I assume is based on a light novel, because I haven't looked, but what type of story it is, I just assume it's a light novel. I would love a second season of this. This is one that I actually watched, and I was very surprised that I actually genuinely enjoyed what the story was trying to get across. Yes, he is overpowered. Yes, there's some girls that hang around him, but they don't seem to have any interest, at least romantically. Maybe the maid does, but the maid more just feels like a young girl the same age that's kind of there to assist him, which I think that's deliberately designed so that he does have a love interest later on, because they are the same age. Well, again, he's been reincarnated, not transported, so he is the same age from that point of view, even though he's got his past memories. But I don't count the past memories other than a way to construct his mental component, not the physical. The physical, again, same age as the girl. So I definitely could see a romance there. The older chick, there's a possibility. I mean, she's not that much older, but she's a little bit. And then, of course, you've got the relationship between him and his father. I thought that was really interesting, because the father can kind of tell that it's not the same kid, but there's still some little lingering kind of components. And even the main protagonist doesn't even beat around the bush. He's like, yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm that person, but, you know, see what happens kind of thing. And then the relationship with him and the queen as well. The queen's hot. I'm just going to say it. Queen is hot. But just the people that he's got behind him, they have a lot of respect for him because of his knowledge, but also his ability, because he's got these like super powerful abilities where he can construct different compounds, mix them together, and then he uses his past life as someone that was working in medicine. And this is what I mean about the past life being a massive pivotal push. He has a lot of knowledge in medicine that he gained because he was trying to solve a problem for his family in that life. And now he's using that knowledge to help other people in this alternate world that he also wants to make sure that all these problems aren't as bad. And so it brings the standard of life up for many people, and making medicine available for a wider audience, people that are not as in a financially advantaged situation, because in those times, yeah, medicine was generally for those that were much more wealthier. while the poor generally had to rely on superstition and wacky kind of stuff, like the spirits come to save me kind of situation, or throw some magic dust or something like that. Instead, he's offering a tangible solution and then trying to open it up as much as possible so that more people can have it. And that's where there is the major plot point of him running into certain characters that want to oppose him, not because of them wanting to throw out competition in the sense of making money, but they don't like the fact that it's royalty that is running this, and they want the common people to do their own medicine even if it's not as efficient, because they don't trust the royalty, because they're scared that, oh, they'll run us out of business and then up the prices and make it impossible for the poor. So that's kind of what they're trying to avoid, which is understandable, and they've got their own personal grudges as well. But the kid is genuine, he's trying to do the right thing, and he's got a lot of people working behind him, and a lot of people have trusted him, as mentioned, because of what he's done so far. There's also the major plot point of this individual that has this like kind of power of kind of creating the Black Plague and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool and interesting. I wonder if there's a possibility that there could be other things that could happen. Like, imagine if there was another person that could be isekai that could try and cause havoc. It's a possibility, I doubt it, but it's just one of those where I'm like, the story has so many interesting things that could happen because of the blessing he has, all these other characters that are trying to do good and bad, etc., and some neutral characters. The story has a lot of potential, and it being in subbed and dubbed does help as well to open up accessibility for those that want to watch it. I honestly think it deserves a second season. I know I talked about it before, just saying it's a source material seller, and I stand by that. It is 110% a source material seller, but it deserves a second season because I just think the story has a cool premise. I actually enjoyed it, which I guess maybe, yeah, surprised me a little bit, because I went into it kind of thinking it'd be very cliche, and it does have some cliche elements to it. He's very overpowered, absolutely ruffle stomps many situations, but there are many things that do challenge him, and that's the thing. Yes, he's overpowered in some aspects in compared to other pharmacists and all that, but there are great challenges that come up that he has to rise to, and that he has to help also have those help him, and he helps them, and everyone brings themselves up. So I think it's a great story. I'd love to know your thought in the comment section down below, because I feel like when I'm talking about this, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of comments saying, this is boring, this is just a copy-paste, isekai, just generic. But I'm like, as I mentioned before, the harem, there's no harem in there. There's no romance. I mean, there's a possibility that I could see, but it isn't like a driving factor. There's like no romance in it whatsoever. I just think there's possibility for it depending on the different characters. But for me, it has a lot of cliche elements, but not all the bad ones. Which is why I think the story kind of got me more intrigued, because it was doing that isekai sort of foundational building, but also trying to take it in an interesting and different steps. So now, when talking about what the source material has covered for the anime itself, and what are the chances of a season 2, and all those kinds of things involving that, because that's the general main questions. At the end of someone watching an anime, they generally ask the questions of, okay, where do I pick off from the source material? Now, the main source material being the light novels, there is a manga. From what I could glean and understand, the manga, it covered up to about volume 7, but there's the other thing as well, is that the mangas do discontinue based on the fact that the last volume in Japan came out December the 21st of 2023, so it does feel like that they've kind of just discontinued the manga, especially more so that the last light novel came out January the 25th of 2024. So I would recommend, again, you can go to the manga if you want, but you're not going to get much of the story after that if it does go to volume 7, because there's only another 3 volumes after that. Your best bet would be to go to the light novels, which I could not find out where it covered up to, but there were a lot of people saying that there's like a whole character missing from the anime that's in the light novels, so people basically just say, yeah, you kind of have to go to the main volume, volume 1, because of the fact that the source material does seem to deviate quite heavily. I would say the best bet would be probably like volume 3 to 5, because sometimes they do go pretty fast paced, so that's the general rough range of 3 to 5. But again, if there's a whole character missing, then you're better to start from volume 1. And even if there isn't a character, apparently there's extra chapters that are missing. It's just one of those where it's like, read from volume 1. It's always the bread and butter. But the fact is that, yeah, this is a 10-volume series. It's clear that it's a source material seller, so the chances of a season 2 are pretty much 0. Do not expect a season 2. Go read the source material, but there is currently, as of recording this, there is no legal English translation of the light novels. There is for the English, but that only goes up to volume 6, and that was the last one that came out November the 19th of 2024. There might be other places, but again, it's hard to sometimes find this information because every time I keep looking this series up, I keep getting Apothecary Diaries, which was why it was really hard to find any information on this because of the sort of similar names. And pharmacy-type animes are pretty popular now as well, so there's a couple of good gems out there, and whether you like this or not is completely on you. So again, as far as the season 2 goes, it's pretty much 0. Go read the source material. If there is any form of fan translation, go do your own research. Go find what you can, but based on what I can see, there is no legal English translation currently as of recording this video. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.